you do have one guy who, yeah, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter. He can punch, and he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Tank Davis is a violent human being. He's a savage. And he doesn't feel in his element. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. If you're from the hood, you would know.
Experts in boxing assert that Jake Paul has no genuine chance against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Shakur Stevenson explains that despite Jake's size advantage, it won't matter because Tank's superior skills, timing, and ring IQ will dominate the fight. Stevenson predicts Tank won't chase a knockout since Jake's size makes him harder to drop, but he'll completely outbox him, control every round, and secure an effortless decision victory.
Difference between these two guys.
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just gonna go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way you could, any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and said he's got good power. Not even and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch, and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is he's been boxing his whole life. He's been boxing since a kid, so I doubt like that's gonna be an issue or problem. I think Jake is good for where he's at, but I think it's just levels.
Do you see a more likely chance that Tank wins by decision or by knockout?
By decision. I mean, that guy's too big. I don't think that he's just gonna knock that guy out. So I see him like outboxing him.
Could you see a realistic possibility where Tank could knock him out, although more likely that it is, like you just said, a decision?
Nah, I don't see him knocking him out. No.
Will you watch, Shakur? I mean,
No.
obviously, no?
Hell no. Nah, I ain't really like. I mean, like I said, here's the thing. Like I got two sides of me when it comes down to I got a business side, then I got a competitor side, and from the competitive aspect, it don't excite me for me to be like, okay, I want to watch it.
Showbiz The Adult explains that Gervonta "Tank" Davis has already proven he can dominate taller and stronger fighters like Ryan Garcia. He reminds fans that Ryan wasn't just taller but also faster and explosive, yet Tank adjusted, found his rhythm, and defeated him with ease. The YouTuber and boxing analyst adds that if Tank could close the distance against a skilled boxer like Ryan, then Jake Paul will be no different. While Jake's size may look impressive on paper, Showbiz insists that boxing is truly about distance control, timing, and ring IQ, all areas where Tank reigns supreme. He believes Tank has mastered reading opponents' movements and setting traps, and once Jake steps into the ring, those deadly skills will surface instantly.
Emotionally, see if he's rattled. See, when it's all said and done, the whole talking shit goes out the window. Jake, and let me tell you this too. I looked at them sizing them up. I'm looking at Tank and Jake, and I'm looking at them. Tank can reach him. He reached Ryan Garcia. He reached Mario Barrios. I was like, he ain't gonna give a he knows he's gonna reach. Look, I want to say this. Funny as hell. Before I say all this, Alicia Baumgartner, shout out to you. I can't believe out of all the women to be the first one to do 3 minutes, 12 rounds, it's Alicia Baumgartner. And I really know if I have a great endurance, great stamina, and she's doing this shit. Shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. Because what's her name? Layla? I don't really know her like that. But she looks like she ain't rattled by Alicia. So that's the perfect dance partner for that. Trying to drag Alicia Baumgartner into elite water, see what's going on with that. Shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. But let's get back to this. First of all, Tank knows what he's doing. Tank Davis, he said, what he was just making all these implications that was going to be scripted. When he said, "You're paying me," he was like, "Yo, you're going to have to give me extra." And he said that this is scripted.
At the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm gonna fucking sign him on a
you paying me?
So fuck you, little man.
You paying me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Facts.
Correct.
Yes. Correct.
Correct. I'm your daddy.
Chris Algieri praises Gervonta "Tank" Davis for his unmatched ability to draw massive attention every time he fights. According to Algieri, boxing today isn't just about skill and power, it's about who can captivate fans and bring energy back to the sport. Tank represents that new era, where every ring walk sends a wave of excitement through die-hard boxing fans and casual viewers alike. Algieri also highlights Jake Paul's unexpected but powerful influence, noting that while Jake may lack technical mastery, he successfully revived mainstream interest in boxing. His presence has drawn a younger, entertainment-driven audience who might never have followed the sport otherwise. Algieri believes both Tank and Jake, in their own unique ways, are breathing new life into boxing and keeping its global spotlight shining bright.
About the face of boxing could be Jake Paul soon. And the
face
of boxing is basically... Yeah, the face of boxing now is based on if you sell and if people tune in and how many eyes are tuning in when you fight. Gervonta Davis had that. Jake Paul has that. Now they're fighting each other. Truly,
these are created products. These are still created products. Jake made his name going to Walgreens and then making funny faces. You know what I mean? And it was just blowing up on YouTube and whatnot, right? I mean, that's how he started.
The world we live in now, dude. It's unfortunate.
Okay,
it's not like Sugar Ray Leonard, who was the best fighter in the world and marketable. It's not like Oscar De La Hoya, who was a gold medalist, a great fighter and marketable.
But what I'm saying is technology allows us to make, if I want to take this shoe off right here, and I say I want to make my Nike sneaker into the best product possible, and I got enough money to push it behind it. I put it all over your social media platform, and I put it all over your TV set, and all over your phone, and all over everything. You know what, bro? You're gonna start to get curious about the shoe.
Charleston White completely dismisses Jake Paul's boxing career, calling it nothing more than entertainment disguised as boxing. He argues that none of Jake's bouts feel like genuine professional fights, labeling them as carefully staged exhibitions built to generate money and online views rather than true sporting competition. According to Charleston, Jake has yet to face a real, elite-level boxer who could truly test his endurance, skill, and mental toughness. His criticism echoes the frustration of many boxing purists who feel Jake is using the sport as a marketing gimmick rather than respecting it as a craft. White insists that if Jake ever stepped into the ring with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the gap in experience, reflexes, and championship-level conditioning would become painfully clear. For him, Jake's fame may sell tickets, but exhibitions don't build legends, real wars do.
YouTube boxing and what people say is going on in the media, without a doubt, I think Charleston White is 100% right about that. Don't believe anything you hear. Don't believe anything you see. Wait to see how things play out, and ultimately everything will come out in the wash. Well, going into this fight with Gervonta Davis, I had my concerns about the fight because of the same type of reasoning that Charleston White used, except for mine is slightly different. I don't think that either one of these guys are going to try to do too much damage to each other. Number one, because if it's scripted, which more than likely to an extent it will be, Gervonta Davis is not going to put himself in a situation where Jake Paul is going to actually be able to hurt him. And with these 12-ounce gloves on top of Gervonta Davis's hands, which is bigger, 2 ounces bigger, I do believe.
Teddy Atlas, one of boxing's most respected analysts, compares the potential Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis fight to the time Jake's brother Logan Paul faced Floyd Mayweather. He explains that while Jake might possess the physical advantage, Tank's experience, skill, and ring IQ will be the deciding factors. Atlas paints Tank as a dancer in the ring, a master of rhythm, timing, and control who dictates every moment with precision. Throughout his career, Tank has faced and defeated dangerous, elite opponents, sharpening his instincts to dismantle any challenger regardless of size or power. In contrast, Atlas argues, Jake lacks the sharpness, awareness, and defensive intelligence needed to compete at that level. Boxing isn't about muscles, Atlas says. It's about precision, control, and purpose, something Tank has mastered completely.
So I liked this when I heard it. No, I didn't like it, to be honest, for the optics and everything else I just said. But you do have one guy who, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter. He can punch, and he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what'll wind up selling it. The what if. What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin, and Jake Paul, we're gonna find out if he can dance. Whoa, 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 whoa! You know, do the cha-cha. That's what's gonna sell it. And you can't argue that what if. You can't. I know I get to places that other people won't go and everything else. They just dismiss stuff because it's easier to do that. It's safer to do that. You don't have the bows and arrows coming at you from people that argue with you because you did that. But I don't care. I've had bows and arrows my whole life. I don't care. But that's true. That what if? What if this guy who is a real good puncher, who is one of the best fighters in the world right now, what if he hits him? What if he makes a miss and he counters him? Or he jumps up in the air? Jump up in the air. Right.
Showbiz The Adult dives deep into Gervonta "Tank" Davis's personality outside the ring. He admits that Tank might not be the smoothest talker or the most polished businessman, but that's not what makes him dangerous. Tank's confidence was built in the trenches, not the boardroom. Showbiz says Tank's presence speaks louder than words. His body language in press conferences radiates unshakable calm and raw menace. He never looks scared, pressured, or out of place. While Jake Paul thrives on promotion, cameras, and social media hype, Tank's aura doesn't rely on marketing. It's real, primal, and rooted in survival. Tank Davis is a violent human being, Showbiz says. He's from the hood, built different, and when he's in that ring, it's his natural environment. So, fight fans, what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explosive boxing breakdowns and updates from NBA Pulse, where the fight never stops.